I've been very lucky in my career to interview so many famous names, and then, of course, many become good friends, which is lovely, in fact. One of our biggest pop stars, really, of decades over here in the United Kingdom is none other than Sir Cliff Richard. Oh, yes, he's a man that's really enjoyed a very long career. And for those people around the world that are not familiar with Cliff, you will know much of his music. I think one of his biggest hits, by the way, in the United States was Devil Woman. Do you remember that one? Ooh, very racy in its time. Tame now, isn't it, when you consider the lyrics that are splashed around on the radio today. But I wanted to highlight this particular picture because Sir Cliff, as I say, I've been lucky enough to meet, and of course I've been lucky enough to meet many people who worked with this celebrated actress, the late and beautiful Jayne Mansfield. Now, I wanted to get the thoughts of this from Sir Cliff about what he remembered regarding this particular picture. Now, you have to remember this is taken in the late 1950s, around about 1959. And Cliff was at the height of his fame. He was bigger than Elvis over here, if that's possible. And everybody wanted a slice of the action. None more so than the often said self-publicist and blonde bombshell Jayne Mansfield herself, who was in town to make a movie over at Shepperton, I believe. And what's interesting here is that Jayne knew the value truly about being seen with the right people. While Jayne was here, you see, she was having a few battles with her film studio, 20th Century Fox. She felt that she was being overlooked, pushed out in the favour of that other resident blonde over at 20th Century Fox, Marilyn Monroe. So they decided to loan her out for a lot of money, as she pointed out, while she just picked up the weekly salary from Fox. You get the picture. What's interesting here also is that Jayne really utilised her power over here in Europe by being pictured with Sir Cliff. It did his career a lot of good because he was making yet another pop star type movie, Espresso Bongo, all about somebody who was discovered in a talent show and then shot to fame, all on the back of course, a more experienced woman. Yes, nothing changes. Jayne herself went on to turn on the Illuminations up in Blackpool, a very popular seaside Lancashire town at that period, and caused an absolute sensation. She hoped that this picture, along with the Illuminations picture, would kickstart 20th Century Fox into taking her more seriously. Sadly, it didn't work out for Jayne, who tragically lost her life at such an early age in 1967, but Sir Cliff remains a beacon of pop, carrying on today, releasing a new album, and at 80 plus has also been on tour. Proof, you see, that the big stars do remain in our imagination. Proof, you see, that if you have talent, it still remains. As for Jayne, naturally, we send her our prayers and love and everybody to her family. But what an icon of entertainment, and what a great snapshot of history of two brilliant stars in a golden age of entertainment. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.